This is Forrest with Earthly Pleasure, and welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to talk about asymmetrical inner labia and the normal range and variation for inner and outer labia. So, I am a body sex facilitator and one-on-one pleasure coach. I work with women and people with vulvas to overcome body shame and increase physical pleasure in their lives. So, welcome. All right, I've talked with a lot of people, a lot of clients and friends, and what is amazing to me is that so many of us have body shame about things that are just within the range of normal variance. Um, and this can be shame about size of vulva, like the whole vulva, but also shame about the size of both inner and outer labia, as well as if one is bigger than the other one or one is quite a bit smaller. It trips us up and we shame spiral about it, and we don't need to. We don't need to shame spiral about it. So let's unpack it and talk about it a little bit today. Um, all right, I'm going to start with a story, and that is a story of Betty Dodson, who is the founder of Body Sex, and she passed away in 2020 at the age of 91. She was a feminist. She was a fine artist. She was a sex coach, a masturbation coach. She helped women and people with vulvas. And she was incredible. And she had one inner labia that was quite a bit longer than the other one, and but both of her labia were rather long. So she had dangling inner lips, as she called them, and she was convinced that she had deformed herself from too much childhood masturbation. She thought that she had stretched her lips from too much childhood masturbation. It was not until she was in her 30s with a boyfriend looking at magazines, and this was back in the 60s, late 60s. It was not until looking at magazines of different styles and shapes of vulvas that she understood her own anatomy as normal. And she recounted that in 15 minutes of looking at different styles and variation in vulvas, her body shame about her vulva evaporated. Like it was healed. And she had spent 2 years in therapy trying to overcome this body shame. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with therapy. Therapy is amazing, but if it's not the right tool for the job and you're trying to use it to do something it's not really designed to do, then it's kind of a waste of money. And it's also not effective. Okay. Why do we carry body shame about the natural variation in our bodies? The basic answer is lack of education. I want to pause here too and say that there are things that are not normal and that we need to go have checked out by a doctor. That's not what I'm talking about today. I'm actually not qualified. I'm not a doctor. I'm not qualified to diagnose issues or anything like that. I am talking about normal range in healthy tissue, just normal range in how our bodies are shaped. Um, okay. So basically, lack of education is why we have no knowledge and understanding of what is in that normal range of shape and size and asymmetry. So the inner lips can vary in size. Some of us have long inner lips. Some of us have very short inner lips. Some of us have like not only like they don't go far away from the skin, like from I'm sorry, from our bodies, but they don't go very far down towards the vaginal opening. Yeah, so it can be small and it can be very full and like this elaborate drapery. Um, Same with the outer lips. So outer vaginal lips or outer vulva lips can be big and fluffy and full and luxurious, and they can also be very sleek and close to the body. All of these ranges are normal. One doesn't feel more than the other. One doesn't look better than the other. One isn't more capable of orgasm than the other. All of it's good. All of it functions. And we want variation, right? We don't all want the same body parts. We don't want to look the same. That would be really boring. Um, all right. I'm looking at my notes. So our bodies are asymmetrical naturally. So if I took a mirror and I only looked at this half of my face reflected in the mirror, it wouldn't look like me because my face is not symmetrical. In fact, this is a trait that my dad also had. So when I smile, this side goes up a little bit more than this side. That's just my face. It's just my mouth. So just like that variation happens in our faces and in our bodies, it also happens in our pleasure organ. Okay, I talked about the different sizes, talked about shapes. We we go through this in really great detail in body sex retreats, um, and in my one-on-one work with people. We actually go into pretty thorough detail about the variation in vulva styles. Um, I talked about that. So mostly our sex education is reproductive anatomy and physiology. We learn, for those of us with vulvas and ovaries, we learn what we learn, and it's not adequate and it's not good enough. Mostly, there are exceptions to that, but mostly it's like, okay, you have a vulva and a penis goes in your vagina and it might feel good, but oh, we're not going to tell you about how to actually cultivate it feeling good. Just don't get pregnant. In fact, better yet, don't have sex. And we're not going to tell you anything about like how to cultivate pleasure in your body. So that is woeful. And it sucks that we're in this place. Luckily, there's tons of resources. So there are amazing like books, tons of resources. There's tons of people out there doing really good, like me, doing really good work on pleasure anatomy and pleasure education and how do we work our parts. So our reproductive parts are different than our pleasure parts, right? So I'm just talking about our pleasure parts and um our parts are normal. Our our asymmetry is normal. Our shape and size is normal. And I think, and that concludes everything I wanted to say. Uh, I'm gonna link some other videos for you, and those are on, I talk about all kinds of topics and I try to release videos regularly. So yeah, I'll just link some good things down below that I think you'll like. And I hope that you found this informative and beneficial to you, and I'll see you next time.